Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Untitled Sickos Project. I am your host today, MaskedAura, and I smell a wonderful scent on the horizon. Oh yes, football season is back. I'm happy. I can't wait to talk about football season. And also joining me today, I have three two wonderful hosts. Hopefully, the third one shows up soon. If not, oh well. And they are.
Hello. I am Nickman, and apparently I just discovered that I basically have a British accent, and I don't even need to try and have one.
Oh,
And I'm
that's incredible, man.
yeah, and I'm Carsausage, and I smell something too. It's just how fucking stale this apartment is. God, Lee.
I mean, good. Bleach will take care of that in a heartbeat.
What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, it's not only my favorite beverage. It's not only my favorite beverage to drink, but it is also a great cleaning tool to clean with. Please help. It's a great tool, right? Because I
Yeah.
mean, for the apartment, like we have a really like we tend to put like too much chemical cleaner into a water mixture, which kind of makes the floors a little bit sticky. But I just been using bleach, and the floors do not be sticky, and it removes the stink from the house or apartment.
I love how during that I could hear a very brief "please help" during that.
Please help me. I need to get more bleach. It's only $4 at my grocery store.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just revenge for what his fiance does to him, like on the other nights.
On the other nights, drink the bleach, you bitch! You're gonna sit there and you're gonna fucking like it.
Ugh.
I'm in an abusive relationship.
Place your bets on who the abuser is.
It's not me. It's not me. I'm the innocent one. I swear. She literally just smacked me upside the head because I asked her to choose my gender for a Pokemon game.
I was there. I heard it.
Yeah, he heard the loud thunk as I landed on my head on the table.
I'm pretty sure he screamed and bled the entire time.
And my brain hurt because of that.
But
Brain
yeah,
hurty.
we have fun here.
We do.
That we do.
And I think we have the most appropriate way to start things off by talking about our thoughts about March Madness. As
Uh,
our reoccurring hilarious dick joke just doesn't end yet. So, March Madness, folks. As to my
Anybody in
key.
chat get your tubes tied?
Yeah, tubes tight, get your vasectomies done. I mean, this is the perfect time if you love college sports and you love March Madness. This
But you
is
just hate that you're producing so many children.
yeah. And like you're done with the producing kids cycle and you're like, man, I wish I could get like recovery time so I could watch March Madness and be excused from work and paid for it at the same time. Benefits determining how much time you get off the bar. But I do too. Enjoy the chaos that is I'm being put to sleep with this year's March Madness. Like McTennessee upsetting Clemson was the funniest thing that happened. Other than that, I'm just like honk shoe.
I mean, I love that Iowa State was putting belt to ass this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean we just saw New Mexico beat Marquette, so that was pretty base. Both Patinos are in the round of 32, but yeah, I mean there's been good games today, really good games. Just upsets haven't been there. I mean, Colorado State beating Memphis, a lot of people predicted that because Memphis once again has the Fell for It award. Um, but I mean, some of the possible upsets, like Grand Canyon got obliterated by Maryland. Robert Morris gave a great fight against Alabama. They really had them on the ropes for a while, but Alabama was able to pull away. And going back to yesterday, I mean, like it feels like in terms of the whole, like in terms of upsets, there's been a lot of close first halves, but it felt like teams have been able to pull away in the second half. Like we saw it with Auburn against Alabama State, St. John's against Omaha, Wisconsin against Montana. And, there's been some close ones. Texas Tech held off UNC Wilmington. Purdue held off High Point, which that was an upset I was predicting, along with Yale over Texas A&M. Because hey, the Ivy League schools in recent years have managed to pull off big upsets in March, but fortunately they weren't able to do it this year. So yeah, I mean, of all the other ones, I mean, let's see. BYU really held off the VCU test, which, oh, by the way, I'm glad I mentioned this game because something really funny happened today in college basketball.
Oh,
So, the college basketball coaching cycle has been really heating up. Like, there was the big one so far has been Indiana getting West Virginia's head coach, which could not have happened at a better time considering the controversy with West Virginia and the tourney selection committee. But the big one today is the fact that Virginia hired Ryan Odom, who was VCU's head coach, to be their next head coach because Tony Bennett retired this last offseason. They basically had an intern for the season, so they needed a new head coach, and Ryan Odom is their head coach now. So why do I say this is funny? Because the reason it's funny is because Ryan Odom was the head coach of the number 16 seeded UMBC basketball team. The number 16 seeded UMBC basketball team that knocked off Virginia.
Was it the first 16
bruh.
seed to upset the number 1 seed?
Ever,
Yes.
yeah.
Huh.
The
The
greatest
guy who
upset in
coached
March
that team
Madness.
is now the head coach of Virginia.
That's funny.
That's spicy, actually.
that is life comes at you fast. Virginia was didn't Virginia win it end up winning it the following year, or did they just kind of
Yeah,
Yeah,
fall?
they won in
they pulled a
2019.
lightning.
Yeah, okay. Less funny, but still funny, but not funny. I mean, to me, like what I've been seeing for March Madness is, oh hey, here's Missouri, an SEC team. Oh look at that, they lost. Surprise, surprise. Let's keep
Yeah,
going
turns out
down the
the SEC
list.
can't basketball.
Texas losing to Xavier. Fascinating. Let's keep going, shall we? Gonzaga destroying Georgia. Huh.
Yeah, it was
Interesting.
27-3 Gonzaga to start the game, I might add.
Vanderbilt losing to St. Mary's. SEC. I'm an SEC fanboy, by the way, so this is I kind of find it ironic.
Yeah, an SEC fanboy from like about as far away as you can get from the southeast United States.
Mm-hmm.
By
There's
the way,
got to
I
be a
mean,
point. It's like there's only one or two SEC teams that didn't make it. It's what was it? It was Kentucky and Mississippi
no,
State?
Kentucky's in.
Oh.
No, South Carolina
Oh,
and
Gamecocks.
LSU.
LSU.
South Carolina, LSU, yeah.
Mississippi.
Although,
Mississippi.
speaking of teams
Wait.
from South Carolina,
Was Mississippi State SEC or are they independent?
SEC, they lost to Baylor.
Okay.
Big 12 is really the basketball conference. If you ask me.
Kansas
Speaking of Big 12,
lost.
well, to be fair, I do want to say if there's any good thing the SEC has done so far, it's that Arkansas did eliminate Kansas, which was hilarious.
Yeah, because I know if any, like I know the basketball, like Kansas is a basketball school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what that means? That means we have to call it Arkansas now, and then there's the state of Kansas.
Yeah. How the rules work.
Hey, that's fair. That is fair, but like honestly, you don't need like most of the tournament to be SEC schools. That's ridiculous. I don't care if you're the hardest conference out there. You don't need half of your conference to be SEC schools. Like the Pac-12 has 0 schools in it. You don't hear us complaining
Uh,
because Washington State and Oregon State.
Yeah, also because, yeah, the Pac-12 isn't in basketball anymore.
And rest, I
I
miss
mean, you want
man.
to talk about snubs? I feel like, man, they should be giving more spots to the Horizon League, man.
No.
who did
No.
who did the Horizon League send this year anyway?
Um,
Brian.
right.
We sent.
Yeah, they're about to play Michigan State.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Tip off in 14 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State favored by 18 and a half. Hmm.
Well, I'm just thinking of the Oakland Golden Bears from last year.
Yeah, they beat Kentucky last year.
Mm-hmm. They did do that.
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
And it was,
Kentucky.
yeah, it was that defeat that led to, like, one of the wildest coaching carousels in college basketball history, all because of Oakland.
Because somebody who was going to be a fucking car salesman decides to be prime LeBron James and just go off.
More like Steph Curry because he kept shooting so many threes.
True.
I mean, that's why I love this tournament. It's just the chaos of it all. But unfortunately, I mean, the South bracket's kind of cut and dry, except Marquette doing what Marquette does best. And wait, is Marquette a mainstay in March Madness, or am I thinking of somebody else?
Yeah, they
No,
are.
that yeah, they are. Like, maybe not like top level, but like they're a mainstay.
Yeah, they're a decent like second round exit. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Okay.
Um, although I will say, having Iowa State in the South Conference, what happened to the game I love?
Yeah, what did happen to the game that I love? I mean, I saw what Washington's record was in the for college basketball this year, and I'm like, that's kind of bad. That's kind of bad.
Maybe some of that comes down to the fact that they didn't go to school for geography; they went to school for hoop.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think geography and hoops would just kind of just roll together.
Oh yeah, traveling.
Oh, fuck, damn it. I mean, you could also say electric vehicles and the planet and fucking Teslas and SpaceX, because there's some schools in Washington State that are involved in projects. But
Yeah, I see those commercials all the time during March Madness where it's like, we do science at university.
come
Yeah.
We're
to
the only one.
us.
But
And
yeah,
then
you
I'm
know
just
it's
like,
March Madness.
Yeah.
You know it's March Madness when you see the same 5 commercials over and over again. Like you see the freaking Capital One commercials, like the multiple versions they have of like freaking Chuck, like Spike Lee, and like all like like all of them.
What surprised me is that they brought back the little piggy commercial of
Yeah,
all commercials.
yeah. Of all commercials, Geico brings that one back.
It's like seeing Michael Jordan on the Wizards, man.
I mean,
But
I
maybe I
mean,
shouldn't be surprised. Perhaps I shouldn't be surprised considering I don't. It wasn't that long ago that they did bring the caveman commercial back.
Oh my!
yeah.
Even I don't remember that guy. Even I remember that commercial. There's March Madness is an interesting beast, sure.
You know what? You know what scares me? There's probably going to be some people out there that are going to get nostalgic for that Burger King Whopper song. Like,
Probably already have.
Oh, because it's just how bad it was. It was just like you look at what was played over and over and over again. It was like a trend in 2022, right? Or
yeah,
2022 where it's like your team you're like a fan of this team and you're getting blown out and this commercial comes on.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Somebody is just gonna, like some, like 20 years from now, uh, some kid is gonna be like, I finally got a job on Family Guy as a writer, and then one of the cutaway gags is gonna be like Peter Griffin singing the Whopper song, like.
Oh no! What happened to the show I love? What happened to Family Guy, man?
Well, I mean, they did reference Blue's Clues for some reason at one point.
I mean
I mean, the big
that's great and all, but like, oh, I haven't heard like any recent episodes that Family Guy has done that have been good.
like the
They've
last
all
one I heard.
been.
The last one I heard is when Peter did something and scene went viral because Lois really screamed very loudly and it went viral.
Oh, wasn't it when Peter was doing Lois's mom?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
said
yeah,
he
yeah.
did something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people compared it to like the Evangelion scream.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, um, the most recent one I can remember is that apparently they got a timeshare out in Maine, and the the big the big joke was like, oh man, that'll be perfect for when you know they have to talk about something for an NFL game, and then it's the cutaway is about somebody on the Vikings being injured during a quote unquote meaningless game against the Packers. And this was like a few months or weeks right after the Kirk Cousins injury.
Oh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Did they
Indeed.
know?
They don't even know, man. They don't even
I'm
know.
just saying, it's like those people that think the Simpsons predict everything. Like,
Dude, they do predict everything. They're like fucking geniuses, man. Like they're like inside the walls. They're inside the walls.
The Simpsons predicted that my wife would leave me.
I don't know, man. I have no idea, man. I'm freaking out, dude.
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I showed up, man. They abducted me and shit, and they told me about vasectomies all day, man. I'm
Brain
like,
is a powerful tool. That is very true.
Yeah, we are.
hmm,
We're getting back into the old sickos, man.
we're
This is
getting
what it
we're
used
we're
to be
getting
all about.
getting into the pee poo poo jokes. The Simpsons predict that my dad is never gonna come. No, Yasko, that's my joke. Fuck you. That's my joke. Damn it. No, you don't get to make that joke. My dad actually did leave. And I've been traumatized by it ever since.
Wow, talk about a throwback joke right there, huh?
Oh man, that is a
Yeah.
great throwback. Oh my god, the memories. Oh.
Pretty much every single podcast we make at least one joke about your dad not being there.
Mhm.
I know, man. It's crazy, man. One minute he's there, and he takes the TV and it's fucking gone. I kept thinking when I was 5, why is he taking the TV? He's just going for cigs and milk.
Clearly, it must have been one heck of a line at the convenience store.
I mean, talk about inconvenience.
Hey, must have been a great discount. A great discount at milk.
On all those Marbies, man.
Man, those Murbies too, man. I know, man.
Listen, those discounts, they change you. They really do change you.
They change you, man. Now my dad's talking about a 401k, man. I don't even know what that is, man.
Guys, did the Simpsons predict my Barbies?
Oh my god, that would be the funniest thing ever. They're predicting my Murphys. They foresaw it all, man. 9/11 wasn't an inside job, man.
Oh man. Anyway, wasn't there sports we were supposed to talk
Oh,
about?
right.
Yeah.
So, we here at the Untitled Sickos Project, we love spring football. We are pro spring football. I've been watching personally for myself. I have been watching spring football since the AAF back in 2019. So, watching football around this time has been nice, right? I don't have my expectations too high. I want them to play only in the worst AAA stadium for the Oakland Athletics. I want the Vipers back, man.
We want the Mr. Beast team, man.
We want the Mr. Beast
Want-
team, man. They
You
got
want
abducted
the
by aliens,
Cashman team,
man.
The Cashman Field. Talk about art, man. That place was just.
That play. Oh, do we need to do a day where we just rewatch that glorious game of football? Do we
Maybe.
just-
God.
Oh, it was so beautiful. Anyways, we get to start our wonderful journey of pick'ems.
Oh boy, Pick'ems. My favorite part of the week where Luke is just like, "Hey, give me some teams, please and thanks." Except it's spelled like the worst.
the worst kind of spelling on the planet.
You
Uh.
somehow spelled Pick'ems backwards.
And then he wrote it off as like, oops, that was intention, that was an accident. Please don't be mad at me, ooh.
I have dyslexia.
Oh God.
I have dyslexia.
Folks, this is the true Sicko special right here.
Don't feel bad, I have dyslexia. Don't be mad at me. I just want like the strictest teacher to be like, shut the fuck up, you little bastard, spell it right.
Anyway, I feel like there's some rosters we can talk about here.
Yes, there is. There is certainly some rosters we certainly can break down, and we're gonna start off with the Arlington Renegade.
Or
Renegade.
as a certain somebody here likes to say, Roosters.
Shut up. No, it's Arlington Gatorades. Gatorade.
Still coached by the great Bob Stupid.
Bob
Yes.
Stupid returns for his 4th year of coaching the Renegades. Which,
Wow.
shout out to that. Shout out to Bob
Yeah.
Stoops for being back. Returning is quarterback Luis Perez, Devon Smith, Tyler Vaughns, Diorte Burnett, Sal Canella, Marcus Minor, Darnold Payne, Joe Powell, Marquette King. If you don't remember those about Marquette King, he punted for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah,
Mm.
Raiders.
We've got long snapper Antonio Ortiz. So, for you long
Would you mind
snapper
explaining this
fans.
color? Would you mind explaining
Yes,
his
I can
colors,
explain
please?
the color palette. Basically, any returning players have the team's color assigned to it, or it should be white. But I guess they just went with the white background. We get the yellow is an off-season edition. Purple is draft pick, and if they are orange, they are draft eligible. That is for the top half of it. So looking at slots 18 to 3, that is their current roster. They also have a reserve list that is coordinated as the following: did not report / suspended, injury reserve, signed to the NFL, a draft pick, rostered in another NFL league. My guess is if they want to come play for the UFL, that's where they'd be assigned to for now. So it is basically a reserve thing. That takes care of slots 26 through 21. The rest of the slots are the losses. So usually they will range from signed with an international league, could be the European Football League, could be CFL. There's retired, went to a new team in the UFL, signed into the NFL, cut, or signed with the Arena League. So they're fairly up to date.
Drew Samia just cut, just gone.
Mm-hmm.
I remember complaining so much about that man on the Vikings.
Yeah, kind of two shockers. Caleb Van Der Esch getting cut and Juwan Mingo getting cut, with kind of being the big surprise in terms of roster cuts. They also losing a center that played a long time as he would retire. There's a couple guys that have retired. But this terms of offensive line is completely overhauled, and I think kind of the key things with how the UFL is kind of played itself out. O-line has been something that I noticed is in need of the most replacement.
Yeah, that's a big thing I've noticed with like a lot of spring leagues is that their biggest issue seems to be the trenches, but that's because, they're running out of big boys. Like our big boy supply in this great nation is being sapped.
Yeah, and like you've seen how like in the NFL, like there's been times where it really feels like offensive lines in the NFL, especially in recent years, have been depleted. They felt depleted, or they haven't felt as strong as they used to. And if you think it's gonna be like that in the NFL, well, imagine how it's gonna be in a spring league like the UFL, because yeah, it's depleted. It's thin pickings, really.
So
It,
yeah, to anybody who is thinking of like getting into being like in the NFL, pick up a donut. Maybe like get yourself all big so you can be an offensive lineman because
Yeah, bulk up.
Be a
yeah,
big man. Be a big man.
yeah, go for that. Go for the biggest possible McDonald's meal you can think of.
Yeah, because we love our food here. And I mean,
It's no mistaken.
the what the Arlington Renegades roster is really going to come down to. It's going to come down to Luis Perez, Devon Smith, and tight end Sal Canella. It's going to come down to these three players on the offensive side of the ball. Their wide receiver room, it's kind of meh. Which, I mean, if you're especially in a league that's kind of offensive, that is very offensively challenged, and losing a piece like Jawan Mingo, it's it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough sledding for these guys going forward. So, I mean, in terms of roster cuts, they did lose Markeil Lee. He did go international, and they lost Darren Evans on the defensive backs, who played 48.7% of snaps, as he also went international. But I think losing Jake Lacina, or Lacina, I don't know how to pronounce that name.
Let me take a look. Where is he? Oh, Jake Lacina.
Yeah, I guess it is Lacina. Played 81.4% of snaps. So that is something that you're going to have to really keep an eye on, as they have a new center to mostly work with. And I mean, like what we mentioned before, like the guards position is mostly going to be unchanged, but all new tackles. They're going with Matt Frolnick. He's had stints. He was signed with Birmingham, but and this is going to be something to note too. He was signed by Birmingham, but he got cut, and he was a waiver claim by the Renegades.
It's interesting that Farniok was also with two NFC North teams.
Mm-hmm. So, a lot of stuff to note right here, that it is going to certainly be a rotating committee, especially since in the UFL, they do inter squad games, which it's easier for them to do, as...
You said doo-doo.
Damn it. It is easier for them to do, as this league is... They practice in the state of Texas. They practice in like a bunch of close range facilities, but everybody travels out to their games. So that's how they've been doing it. So they've been able to try to get some looks at it, but like I really wonder just how I really want to know what the final product is going to look like on the field, because it is, there is this, the UFL hasn't, had its slip ups, that with being with the players union right now, and they've been very vocal about it. So I think this might be kind of rough. I think it's gonna be a little rough sledding here to start the season.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be something that I will note to watch. So
also, to watch, they've drafted former Viking Bo Richter.
Bo Richter, he's got the red. He's currently that means with NFL team. Yes, he's currently signed in the NFL.
Probably with Minnesota.
Yes, currently with Minnesota right now. So I'm guessing how the UFL goes, if they are not signed to an NFL team, it's more kind of like what the CFL has. And what the CFL has, they have reserved contract spots where they can reserve for players. That way, if they decide they want to go to the NFL or Europe, UFL, or Arena Football League, they would hold on to the rights, deciding if they would come back to the CFL. So that's kind of where they would be. Note, too, there is no Renegades draft picks that are coming to their starting their team this year. So I don't want to say the draft is kind of useless, but we have yet to see a UFL draft kind of work into fruition to kind of get impact players to help their roster. But we do have another year with Luis Perez, which I don't hate. Luis Perez is a fine quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the Renegades, there's a lot of questions here about how Arlington's going to do this season, but I think a lot of those questions will be answered soon, but as long as they have Luis Perez out there, they should be very competitive at least. Like, as long as they have him out there, because, Luis Perez, I mean, looking at how he did last season, because Arlington was not good last year, but Luis Perez was basically one of the only reasons, if not the only reason why Arlington even won any games last year.
Mhm.
Because even though Arlington had a bad year, because I know they started last season like 0 and 6, I believe. Yes, they started 0 and 6 last year, and they did win 3 out of their last 4 games. So they're probably hoping the momentum from they ended the season last year could possibly carry into this season. But yeah, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered with Arlington, which, I mean, there's a lot of questions to answer with all these teams, but the point about the Renegades is as long as they have Luis Perez, I think they should at least be competitive because Luis Perez is without question the best player on this team.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no doubt.
Spring football legend right there. I mean, he looked really good when he played for the Chargers in the preseason too. He had some great throws. And he actually signed late into training camp. I was hoping he was going to get a roster spot, but one of the early cuts, unfortunately. So we'll have
By the
to.
way, not the worth noting, he's not the only former Chargers quarterback to make it to the UFL, but we'll get to him later.
Oh, Holton Ehlers had a stint with Seattle. Quarterback Holton Ehlers we might see some snaps. Luke Luhoen, he is draft eligible.
Aura? Holy crap. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks. I'm a third string, but he is the third string. He is draft eligible. He is draft eligible this year. So should he
coming off a season at North Central Cardinals in the I believe division he was Division 3. So coming off Division 3, a season where he had 43 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions along with 979 rushing yards on 15 touchdowns. So, not going to lie, he gives me some Tyson Bagent vibes.
So someone
We all love some
who
Tyson
could
Bagel.
someone if given an opportunity could make and somehow the chips land right, could be somebody to certainly watch. But the Renegades, I mean, we'll see how they do this year. $1 million question: Can you stop the 4-peat? The Stallions have already done the 3-peat, folks. Can they stop the 4-peat this year? We shall see. Moving on.
And can you stop the beer snake?
Moving on to the team, we have my favorite thing of all time. The beer snake. The DC Defenders. Returning is Jordan Teamu, 2-man under center, also with Mike Delio. You have newcomer in Spencer Sanders, but also key returning player is the running back Abraham Smith. He returns from his season-ending injury. For those who didn't know, he was out for the season all last year. He missed. Was it an ACL tear, or was it an Achilles tendon tear? It was it was a season where he was out for the year. He was really, really good.
ACL injury.
ACL. Okay. So he was really good for the Defenders in the XFL in 2003. One of the key reasons why the Defenders did so well without Abraham Smith, they were kind of pedestrian. Their wide receivers got completely overhauled this year, but the wide receiver room was quite bad. To put it lightly, it was a room that just never meshed well with only 2 returning receiving players, and Ty Scott and Chris Rowland. The only two returning players newly added is Braylon Sanders, who has had mostly a lot of stints with NFL teams from 2022 to 2025. From Miami and New England. signed in March. You got Cornell Powell, who was same situation, 5th round pick out of Clemson in 2021, with NFL stints with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Seahawks from 2021 to 2025. You have Jadon Mickens, who had, again, who went undrafted, had NFL stints with Oakland, Jacksonville, Carolina, Tampa Bay Giants, and the Colts from 2016 to 2024. Also, you have Javon Antonio, who went undrafted and went unsigned with the DC Defenders. So a very different roster room this year. Very different roster room this year for the Defenders. Bailey Moore returns as a tight end, with Mason Fairchild being the new one, going undrafted from out of Arkansas. With O-line mostly staying intact with newcomer Takeem Doss. Defense is mostly returning players. You still have Matt McCray and Peyton Brooks as the punter. But lots in terms of depth. They've reshuffled a lot of their depth pieces. But all of that is going to come into effect when they can get a running game going. And if they can get a running game going, this team is going to be really good.
This team is really gonna bear the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But yeah, looks like. Are there any game names here where you're like, oh yeah, I remember them from when they were with da 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 da.
Yeah, Spencer Sanders, I remember when he was at Oklahoma State.
Mm.
Yeah, he was at Oklahoma State. He transferred to Ole Miss, where I thought he would get an opportunity, but Jackson Dart also transferred to Ole Miss, and that really never came to be for Sanders. But good to see Spencer Sanders still going. Let's see, who else do
We stand our
got
Spencers here.
Yeah,
We do. I'm
exactly.
looking mostly at practice squad players that might. I thought Mason Fairchild was somebody that might pop off, but it's mostly guys with practice squad stints
I
that.
seem to remember
Emory
Kelvin
Jones.
Joseph from when he was with the Vikings for preseason.
Let's see, I'm looking at the reserve list. Emory Jones, yeah, I remember him. Kadon Slovis, former BYU quarterback, also former USC quarterback. Tanner Mordecai, former Wisconsin quarterback and former SMU quarterback.
Note losses. Jaden McClendon. Blue means new team UFL. Okay, so he's still in the UFL. Goes somewhere else. They do lose Liam Frondell. Played 99% of the snaps. Was their main guard, not with the team. He got cut, as well as cornerback Garyon Connolly, no longer with the team. Garyon Connolly retired. Okay, Garyon Connolly retired this year.
Why does the name DJ Swearinger sound so familiar?
DJ Swearinger.
He should have just got cut. Yeah. I mean, they do have Tanler Mordecai, which currently is with the San Francisco 49ers. And Caden Slovis, he is in the NFL currently with I believe either Houston or the Colts. So certainly with the draft, a lot of guys still in the NFL. With Chris Jacobs kind of being the one that's, I don't know what's going on with him right now. Oh, he's in the NFL. Their color coding needs to be better, but they need to update. He's still currently in the NFL, but they reloaded the depth from what it looks like from their players, but they're probably very happy that Abraham Smith is back. Ty Scott looked really good at the end of the season for the DC Defenders. So I think this would probably be the group that would have the most cohesion. Because a lot of the guys did stay together as a roster point, but I think also kind of what we learned from the showboats is sometimes cohesion doesn't work. And what we've learned from Case Cookus is sometimes It ain't it, Chief.
When the case isn't cookies.
You could say Case was really cooked.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
brother,
This
this
guy
guy.
stinks. But that should do it for the DC defense. I expect a whole lot of business as usual for
Oh boy.
Spencer's already knowing what's coming up here.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we got another team willing to go to the Mond Pond. Oh boy. Hopefully he doesn't suck for you as much as he did in the NFL, because heard some of the stories from him, and woof.
Yeah, it's worth noting that he was just this past hour, he was announced as the starting quarterback for the Brahmas.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is Mon time in San Antonio, and looking at who else they have, I see Kevin Hogan's back, the Stanford legend.
Ooh, Jarrett Guarantano.
Janet Garantano, he was with Houston. With Houston last
Yeah,
year.
so he stays in Texas.
Yeah, and then Kevin Hogan's still here.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kevin Hogan, polo legend, I believe.
Legend of the Polo. Kellen Mond being here, he was noted as the top free agent in the UFL class. So that's interesting. Still, we're going off of their champion. They've mostly gone through depth. They still got Anthony McFarland with the pounding of the rock. They lose both starting quarterbacks that they had in Chase Gabers and Quentin Dormandy. And this is a team that went all the way to the championship. And the big controversial one seeming to be the cutting of Quentin Dormandy. But yeah, losing both quarterbacks was something that I was quite surprised. All current draft picks that were signed to them last year was all their draft picks are still in the NFL right now. A lot of guys just I'm surprised. Big note too. They don't have guard Call Levo. He is in the NFL. So another really good success story for the UFL. When I see losses of guys that are in the NFL, that is always a good thing.
Oh man.
He played
Really
99% of the snaps and is still on an NFL roster. I love those are the good moments that you love to see for the UFL. New linebackers core and cornerbacks core with Tariq Carpenter, Greedy Williams.
I remember when he got drafted, and I was thinking, this is a new age for the Cleveland Browns, and then they proceeded to show that they were, in fact, still the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Is still the Browns.
And
So
I'm looking at this roster, and I see a familiar name is still here. Destroying is still on the team.
Yes, right. He was injured last season off of a he got injured off of a play that he made. I still have yet to see him make a field goal attempt.
Yeah.
At this level. So hopefully this year we get to see Destroying make a field goal kick. But yeah.
De La Haye.
Good thing always a good thing to note too. But so from a team that went for the championship, don't think not a whole lot has changed. Greg Ward is also here as a Greg Ward has a couple NFL slips, but he's also here at the UFL as a slot receiver. Most guys are still a lot of new faces here on this team. Which is kind of surprising because this team did win a championship. Did make it all the way to the finals of last year, and they did overhaul The quarterbacks got overhauled. The receiver, well, I think receiving rooms are going to be overhauled. That's pretty common for this league, I guess. Got to find guys that can catch the ball, except for there's one receiver room that I don't think has changed much at all. With shocking cuts, we do have Cody Latimer that did retire. And we saw Al Hennedy, who also retired as well. But in terms of significant cuts, like guys that lost a lot of time, there's not a whole lot to go forth with. So, I mean...
there's the obvious joke of, I guess they didn't believe in AJ Hendy. Ha ha ha.
LOL.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, but should be an interesting season for the Brahmas. They did overhaul their entire team last year and made a run at the championship. So let's see what brings them to this year. So good luck to the Brahmas. We now go.
Next up is wait a second. One thing I noticed on their reserve list, a certain Julien Davenport, which I believe was part of the Laramie Tunsil trade.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where he is currently listed as. He's on the reserve contract, so I think he's still a free agent in the NFL looking for a team to sign with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's listed as hasn't signed a contract yet.
Anyway, I believe next up, there's a certain law that has to be declared.
Mm-hmm. The law is the law. Manny Wilkins is their starting quarterback this year, with Max Taegan being the backup. And they have Chevron Shallow. I'm not going to. Chevron or Chiffon.
Chevron Cordero.
Okay.
Yeah, Hawaii and San Jose State legend. And also Matt Duggan, who, remember how I said earlier about former Chargers quarterbacks?
Oh yeah, I should. That's something I should see. That's something I should have seen coming. I should have known better than that. I should have known.
Words of Johnny Test. I didn't see that one coming.
Neither did I. Jacob Slayers still returns to the running back, but receiver room.
Sailors.
Oh, Sailor. Sorry. There was two receiving room. Two well-known names in the terms of the spring football landscape. Being, we have Hakeem Butler and Jacure Pearson.
Iowa State legend Hakeem Butler is back here.
So we got two known players. We still have Jake Sutherland.
That's my guy right there.
Jake Sutherland still there. We got Denzel Mims. We all remember. So another really good one. They also got Gary Jennings. No, that's not the good. It's not the Gary Jennings I was thinking.
I mean,
you're thinking of Greg Jennings.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, that's
with
probably
a broken leg.
But yeah, again, receivers that have been overhauled. The really shocking cut being Marcel Aitman.
I thought Aitman had a good year, but I guess I guess not good enough for the Battlehawks.
Yeah, that is the kind of the big shocking roster cuts.
To me, oh wait, no, that's a retirement.
Oh, also that and Darius Shepard.
Oh yeah, Darius Shepard.
So losing that's if that goes to show you
Denzel Mims and I guess when you have Denzel Mims coming into the system, it's like you can afford to lose somebody like Marcel Aitman.
Yeah, and about things that the Battlehawks lost this offseason.
Oh yeah.
There is one name in particular that really, in terms of just Battlehawks culture and all that, this one probably stung a lot.
Yeah, I know.
AJ McCarron.
Yep. AJ McCarron. That one kind of hurt.
I'm really shocked by because like this wasn't something that was done in season. This was done it was something that kind of broke the like if you're a spring football fan, this was like breaking news level. It's like if there was a lot, there was like guys that I think that I think like really is like you look at them, you take one look at them and you go, yeah, this is like absolute Battlehawk culture. I look at it's AJ McCarron, and I mean it's not, I wish Jordan Tiamo would have stayed for the Battlehawks, because if Jordan Tiamo would have stayed for the Battlehawks, then be like, yeah, Jordan Tiamo is, I think I look at those Battlehawks guys, but AJ McCarron being cut, man, ooh.
Well, I mean, here's something to consider. Here's a St. Louis Battlehawks quarterback you might not remember played for the St. Louis Battlehawks. Do you remember when Taylor Heineke played in the XFL?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, spring football works, man. It just
Works.
it just works. But most of the team outside of that is mostly intact.
Yeah, got both of the Cyclone boys, Mike Rose and Willie Harvey Jr. still here. It's going to be interesting to see if Mike Rose is back to full strength. I remember seeing him get injured during the Michigan game, but on the bright side, we my dad and I did get to talk to Mike Rose's dad after the game. That was pretty cool. They shot the breeze about Iowa State for a while. It was yeah. It was a lot like watching like a scene out of like King of the Hill or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of good things here for a lot of great things for the Battlehawks teams. I like that. Oh yeah, kickers also. How man, I should take
Oh my gosh, the
Rodrigo
glasses guy.
Blankenship.
We got
Oh,
the
yeah.
glasses guy.
We got the nerd. Revenge of the Nerds.
Gosh, I mainly remember him because he was a meme on Gridiron Heights.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, those are just
And
good
also,
times all around.
he kind of looks like an alternate universe Nickman.
I'm
Yeah,
Rodrigo.
I do see it. I really do see it.
All I hear is like, I'm Rodrigo Blankenship.
Oh god.
Revenge of the Nerds. Good old Revenge of the Nerds, man.
And
Oh.
if Blankenship does well in St. Louis, that's just another Bolivian marching powder moment for Mr. Ursay.
True.
Good old Bolivian marching powder. God, that stuff is so. I mean, no, I don't know anything, but yeah, mostly the same team. Going forward for Battlehawks. The $1 million question: is Kakaw the law?
Yeah, that will always be the question that needs to be answered regarding the Battlehawks, but a lot of this team is basically the same as we've usually seen, and that's a good thing, especially for, spring football leagues like the UFL, but it's really going to come down to the quarterback. Like, how does the quarterbacks do for the Battlehawks? Because, not having AJ McCarron is going to be weird to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Although,
a bold
will
move.
Manny Wilkins become like a new XFL UFL legend?
Even too, they do have Max Taegan in reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have Max
ECU
Duggan.
legend.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see. And something, and of course, as always, the most important thing about St. Louis besides is called the law. Um, we can confirm Stan Kroenke can still suck a fat one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now we go on to the back to back spring football champions, the three-peat that no one really, that people should be talking about. We have the Birmingham Stallions.
I got 2 words for you, buddy. Case Cookus.
Yes, Case Cookus does sign with them after being cut from the Showboats. Alex Magoo returns to the team. He was the 2023 USFL MVP. He returns to the UFL after a couple stints with the Packers. Ricky Pearson Jr. returns. CJ Marable, the running back duo, still is there. Amari Rogers is still here. You have new receivers in Jalen Cobb, Dalton Davis. Jay Sternberner still here. You have Keaton Sutherland, who, spent some teams with Spring good Lord, on some teams, couple teams here.
Here's a name that Nickman might recognize. Lachavious Simmons is, I believe, their right guard.
Yeah.
You also
Yeah,
have
they'd have
Trey
a different
Crowder.
logo.
Do you kids remember Trey Crowder? Or Tay Crowder?
Oh man.
By the way, right below that, here's a last name that will be familiar to y'all. Stephen Gilmore. And
Not to
yes,
be
that is
confused
the
with-
younger brother of Stephon Gilmore.
Boy, that must have been very confusing for their mom.
Oh, Stefan and Steven. Oh, good Lord. I would not. Not returning this year is, of course, Adrian Martinez. He is in the NFL. Also, Jamar Smith, who retired, does not return to the team. High snap that nobody. There's not really. They lose Matt Castley. That's probably like the highest guy with the most snaps. But they also don't have Chris Blewett on their team anymore, as he got cut, as they're going with Harrison Mevis.
Mevis.
Yeah,
I guess you could.
Mevis. And before you say that, it's worth noting that it's always fun to look at the kickers for the UFL, especially after how well Jake Bates did last season. And Harrison Mevis, it's worth noting that back in looking at how he did, because 2023 when he was at Missouri, he hit a 61-yard game winner
Ooh.
against Kansas State. So just want to point that out.
Ooh. That's interesting. Ooh.
He's only 22.
So that's somebody to watch for in terms of for kickers, because I mean these leagues, it's a kicker factory. I wish it was a factory for something else, but it's only kickers.
Well, unfortunately, Luke, due to budget constraints, you have to be the poop factory.
Oh.
I know. We all have to make sacrifices, man.
But the $1 million question we have for this team: can you win 4 championships in a row? Will somebody knock off the Stallions? And I think this is the best quarterback room in the UFL, and Skip Holtz. The guy is fantastic with quarterbacks. He knows ball when it comes to QBs. I mean, he's gotten 2 guys he's gotten probably the guy that's given quarterbacks the most chance in the NFL. Because Adrian Martinez is still on an NFL roster, and Alex Magoo went on to an NFL roster for a couple of years. So a lot of quarterbacks who want to get back into the NFL are very interested in signing with this team. So should be note to worth. Can they do it again? We shall see. Now, the team that has overhauled the most out of any team. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 new faces here. Returning faces. This is probably the most overhauled team in the UFL. Only Nolan Henderson, the only QB that was retained. He gets the reins. I hear it's a duel between him and Anthony Brown Jr. I'm hearing both are gonna get looks coming forward with this season, but they also have Jalen McClendon. So that's something to keep an eye on. But other than that, this team got completely overhauled. And I'm trying to see if there's any familiar faces. Yeah,
I believe you're talking about the Houston Roughnecks?
Yes. Oh, Chris Blewett is here.
You blew it.
I blew it. Yeah, Chris Blewett.
Yeah, and I'm looking at guys, and I see a familiar name in the quarterback room, Damon Arnett.
Oh man, talk about a
Oh
bust.
yeah.
I think he might be the only first rounder in the NFL draft to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's got to be like brutal, man.
Well, Damon Arnett did get straight up cut from the Raiders for being a colossal dumbass.
Oh yeah, because he was with that. He was part of that like robbery thing with like
No,
gosh,
he flashed his gun on
Yeah.
TV threatening to
IG
kill
Live.
somebody on IG Live. So they were
Mhm.
like, no.
Yeah, this
They
was not that long after
Mhm.
the. Wait, was it? Hold on, wait, hold on. I just want to make
It was
sure.
before the incident you're thinking of with that one dude on the Grizzlies. I can't remember the name of.
Oh no, it was. Yeah, this was. Yeah, this was after the Henry Ruggs incident.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I was thinking of Dylan. I want to say his name
John
was.
Morant.
Yeah, John Morant. I don't know why I was
Yeah, this was
thinking that.
before that, but this was after the Henry Ruggs shit show. Which yeah,
When he
that
got
was
Henry
yeah this
Ruggs got his Henry Muggs.
yeah. And so, like, yeah, the
Oh.
tolerance for something like that happening was already going to be extremely low. After that, it was like, okay, yeah, you're done. Goodbye.
Also, there's TJ Buster who was on the Hamilton Ticats. So I remember a little bit about TJ. But mostly, this is mostly a very overhauled team. They were the worst team in the UFO last year. I think they're also really bad when they were the Houston. This was a reminder. The Houston Roughnecks inherited the Houston Gamblers roster. They didn't inherit the Roughnecks roster in the XFL. This is the UFL's they inherited the UFLs. But yeah, all quarterbacks gone. Any player that played for them straight up cut. It is.
Would
It
you want
was.
any of what happened last year on
Yeah,
your plate?
Reed Stennett. Oh boy, was not good. They had Reuben Foster. That was, in my opinion, their best player. He got cut.
I seem to remember him being like a domestic abuser.
Yeah, he's domestic
remember.
abuser. Yep, but
Yeah, because it was because hold on, I know. Yeah, it was when he was at Washington, and yeah, he basically let's see, where was it? Yeah, because like I think the Niners released him because they did not want to have him on the team after that for completely understandable reasons. The Washington would pick him up back when they were still the Redskins. They picked him up, and he first practice with the team, he tore his ACL and LCL.
womp womp.
I
Could have
remember
had to
that.
a better guy.
That was the damn good culture era.
Yeah,
Their
yeah, because
culture.
I remember hearing about that in a tree video, because that was in the same time where Washington completely uh decided to be fucking idiots with Trent Williams and nearly get him killed.
I also, yeah, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it was when they were trying to screw over Kirk Cousins money wise, and
Yeah.
then brought in Alex Smith.
hmm
Which is the
Yeah, and
same type of quarterback.
and we don't talk about how that went.
No, we don't, folks. We do not. But a brand new team for the Houston Roughnecks. bold strategy that they've got going along. Let's see how it pays off for them. Let's see how that pays off, because I really hope it does. I hope they go in the right direction. And speaking of teams that also went under a massive overhaul, we have the Memphis Showboats, which appeared to have their entire team overhauled. With only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15! 15 of players from last year's team still sticking around. EJ Perry looks to be taking under center, as he was signed he was his quarterback for Michigan. They also have Dresser Wynn, who I kind of remember a little bit, had a couple of starts with the Edmonton Elks of the CFL. So I remember a little bit of him. And Troy Williams, who still remains with the Showboats. The Showboats was quarterbacked by Case Cookus for 3 years straight. They moved off of him. Whole new running back room. A whole new receiver room with only 2 players. Jonathan Adams and D. Anderson staying. I'm trying to look at these names. Anybody that is familiar, I don't know. Tight end rooms, again, all starting new tight ends. Edge rushers, linebackers, corners. The entire team has been completely redone. Wow.
Yeah, not just the team, because unlike the Roughnecks, the coaching also got overhauled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why don't we take a quick look at that?
Coaches,
Yes,
let's
welcome in Ken Wisenhunt.
and Wizenhunt.
Wizenhunt.
Ooh.
Mr.
Wizenhunt.
Wiz.
Yes, the Wiz is here.
Something. Let's see who else he brought in with his.
Yeah, I see that he brought in the defensive coordinator from the Maulers, the Pittsburgh Maulers, when the USFL was still intact.
Jaron Horton.
Yeah.
Jaron Horton hears a sack.
Mm-hmm. Good group of coaches. But also, speaking of coaches, there are 2 important coaches to make mental notes of. And those are Reggie Barlow and Anthony Beach. Reggie Barlow might not be coaching this year. Might not be. He currently has an offer for Tennessee State to be coaching their program. So it is a big question mark to see if he does eventually go to coach their team.
Yeah, because that's Tennessee State. They are looking to replace Eddie George.
I remember Eddie George.
Yes, Eddie George, who is now the head coach at Bowling Green.
Good for him.
Oh yeah, Bowling Green. Moving on up.
Did you say Anthony Beach? Do you mean the St. Louis guy?
Yes, Anthony Beck. It's lesser known, but he is looking at college coaching. So he is set to probably be coaching this year. I think it's like he's more likely to finish this year out. But something to do note, he might be coaching. This might be his last year. He might be coaching college football next year.
Yeah, because he was looking at the West Virginia job before they brought back Rich.
So good important stuff to note. So that is to keep a good mental note of. It is that guys are like, and it's been a while because like we haven't had like stability with the spring football league. Like we're starting to get like the form of stability. So now we're seeing if there's an opportunity, like if it like to me like Div 2, I probably would wait for a little bit of a better opportunity. But in terms of that, I mean, this is pretty good to see guys getting coaches getting opportunities in terms of college football. So keep an eye out on those guys, because those guys are currently looking at opportunities outside of the UFL, and it wouldn't be surprising if they decided to take their talents and go back to college. So those are two guys to keep an eye on.
I do wonder if Anthony is staying around in the UFL at least until Rocco graduates, because he has a son that's currently quarterbacking Iowa State, but they're already occupied, and I'm wondering, if Rocco goes undrafted, um, my big question is, do you think that he tries to recruit his son to be a quarterback for St. Louis, considering they have, like a bit of a vacancy as of right now?
Well, there's a good Rocco Becht is on the list of quarterbacks to get drafted. Like
Right,
he
I'm
would
just saying.
be he's on my list of guys who I think are going to get drafted right now. He had a really good year at Iowa State, and it was as a sophomore.
Yeah, so
Yes.
he's still got another year.
2 years. Got 2 years. He's got 2 years left. So, I mean, if he has a good year, he's gonna be on draft watch next year. Which, I mean, Spencer, those years are gonna be absolutely amazing to watch. The draft years of a quarterback at his peak performance. So I think there's still lots of good football coming for Iowa State. So you got to watch out for Iowa State this year. They're going to be another really good team to watch going
I'm really
forward.
excited to see what Rocco brings, and what he's going to be able to do without Jalen Knoll or Jaden Higgins, who declared for the draft.
Yeah.
They find a way. Talented guys like that will always.
Yeah, I mean, they have one heck of a running back room, if I remember correctly, between Abu Sama, Carson Hansen, and Jackson. I can't remember his first name, but I call him Lights Camera Jackson.
That's awesome.
Bring out my inner Chris Berman for a second.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Memphis Showboats. Again, overhauling seems to be a theme for teams that didn't do so well. So, yeah. Note for the Michigan Panthers. This is probably the team that did the least amount of stuff.
A very Was Jerry Jones involved here?
No. I mean, I'm kind of surprised by this too, because I mean, the Michigan Panthers weren't good. I mean, they do lose Jake Bates, who they did probably. I think it's more of their losses were more attributed to guys that went into the NFL. If we're gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I can get why they wouldn't change much, considering they did go 7-3 last year. Granted, they lost in the conference finals to Birmingham, because why not? Why not lose to the now three-peat Birmingham? But I get why they didn't make much changes here, because yeah, there's I mean, names that I recognize. I recognize Rocky Lombardi, because he's a former Michigan State quarterback and Northern Illinois quarterback. Before anyone asks, he was not the Northern Illinois quarterback last year that beat Notre Dame. So just wanted to get that out of the way.
No, he is.
Some other names I recognize here are Kenny Wilkes. I remember people hyping him up as the next Aaron Donald with the next Daniil Hunter. When he was with us. I also recognize the name Tyree Gillespie. You were in the Vegas market. You probably have more experience with Tyree than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
There's also Samson Nakua.
uh,
Hmm.
Yeah, isn't that Puka's little brother?
Mm-hmm.
And there's
Yes.
another name I recognize is Malik Turner. Um,
I'm
Seth Vernon strike rings a
There's
bell.
also Kai Nakua. There are two Nakuas? Huh.
Hold on. Let me make sure.
Yeah, double check. This is like so. It's so funny for it to be a coincidence.
Who does Puka have? What else does he have? Well, yeah, he does have an older brother. It does say on his wiki. Kai Nakua does play safety for the Michigan Panthers, so that is true.
Samson Nakua is also one of his younger brothers.
Yep, and he also plays too. So yeah,
Oh
both of his brothers are
wow!
on the Michigan Panthers.
That's
There's
awesome.
there's actually a third brother that I haven't seen on here, who might be a little young. Um, a guy by the name of let's see, Tae Nakua, who is just now getting into college.
That's a football family right there. Where is he signed to?
Uh, it's Brigham Young, just like a lot of these just like a lot of these guys. You know, like yeah, yeah, a lot of these are like Polynesian guys. They tend to gravitate towards BYU because there's a lot of Mormons who do mission work out there, so
Yeah, I can confirm about that. And also, I also know that I think BYU's head coach is also he's also in that same category. That also helps.
Mm-hmm.
and also I'm pretty sure there's something with Dwayne Johnson. I think he's Samoan as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I do know that there is also a BYU school in Hawaii, so that's worth noting.
Okay.
Wow, we're
But yeah,
learning so much about Polynesian culture. Tune in next week where we go to a different location around the world.
Exactly. I like to learning about stuff.
Untitled Sicko's Geography.
hmm.
I I I like learning.
The Sickos play that. We try and figure out. We play that one game of like freaking. It's like you have to guess where you're at. I'm trying to remember what it.
GeoGuessr.
Yeah, GeoGuessr. Yes,
Dude,
Sickos play
I will
GeoGuessr.
destroy people in Skyrim GeoGuessr. I will destroy people in Skyrim GeoGuessr.
I'll do my best if it's like a real life GeoGuessr, man. Like
Mm.
That would be something. All right, we all have to try and guess where the hell we're at, and it's just yeah, it will probably go as well as you'd imagine.
yeah, tune in for that.
Yeah, tune in for that day. But yeah, those are the UFL teams to start off the year. I'm really excited for another year of spring football. Lots of overhauling done by a lot of teams, lots of new faces. With only like two teams being kind of being about the same in some areas, except for a couple positions, being the Battlehawks and the Michigan Panthers.
I'm gonna see if I can I can't wait to see if I'm gonna be able to go to another Battlehawks Panthers game this year, you know, like I
Is,
did last year.
isn't
That
that
was
gonna be in St. Louis this year?
um actually because they're division rivals, I'm pretty sure they play
No, they're not. USFL division is
oh yeah,
Michigan.
let me check the UFL schedule this year.
Da. Looking
See
at
what
it
we
here
got
right.
here. Let's see what we got here. The Battlehawks play Michigan. They play them in St. Louis,
Ah,
April 26th.
on ESPN.
Mm,
With
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be like that one graphics package that has that's just overloaded with gambling information because
Yes, ESPN Bets, which may or may not be getting shut down within a year because the company that owns it isn't doing well.
Yep, don't forget, guys, if you're watching ESPN, you're gonna be reminded about gambling for every 5 fucking seconds.
use promo code KILLME to get $50 off your first bet.
Why gamble? Gambling is cringe.
Because it makes people that are very high up in the social rankings a lot of money.
Don't forget to gamble, guys. Don't forget to gamble. We need gambling. We need gambling money. We don't forget to gamble. We want to. We love gambling.
Your children will thank you somehow.
We got. Speaking of pick'ems, the appropriate time to mention about pick'ems. We, of course, here at the Untitled Sickos Project firmly believe that a pick'em cycle must be necessarily unnecessarily long. Starting off, we do this journey every year. It's a 10.5-month journey. We have done it for 1 year already, which I thought it went pretty well. We're in the nice. We start off with a nice light summer jog. The beautiful summertime jog that we start off with. In terms of like the four of us, with Taegan, who will be back maybe next week or doing our silly Billy stream. But in terms of points percentage, the average was about 57% with all the games that we have picked.
What am I missing?
My dad.
Stupid?
My dad to come
Of course
back.
you're missing your dad.
I'm missing my dad. Where's my dad, Spencer? I missed my dad.
He went to get a vasectomy because it's March Madness. See ya, buddy.
He went to get milk.
He's gonna come back one day. He fell for it again award.
Fell for it again.
Don't feel bad. I drank the 12 seed Kool-Aid for March Madness once again.
But no, we're not doing pick'ems today. We're not doing them yet. They will be started Monday. They'll be starting Monday for us Sickos members. So you have 2 days of a peace, tranquil ocean before my ass comes. Wake your ass up. It's time for pick'ems.
I was gonna go with the monsters versus aliens meme that we're all about here on the channel.
Oh yeah, don't worry, Sickos. We got enough pick'ems to last you your entire life. Hey, Luke, get your ass over here and give him more pick'ems. The boy's hungry.
Remember, folks, I just got this message from ESPN Bets because they are not happy that I slander them publicly. I just got this message from them that says, remember, folks, 99% of gamblers quit before they hit big.
Oh, very true, very true.
And note that if you do gamble alongside our pick'ems, you could end up striking rich. Like, what was the week? It was our week 6 pick'ems. Me and Nick went undefeated for it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, wait. So okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We picked 12 games right. So imagine if you went on a parlay.
And fellas, I hear gambling makes your penis bigger.
So imagine if me and Nick placed bets for our week 6 pick'ems. Nick, we could have been millionaires, man.
Could have been.
We could have put a $10 bet and had it hit
We really are the what if sickos. We really are.
And not to mention, one of those upsets was Vanderbilt. One of those upsets was Vanderbilt on a double down. So we truly did have the most perfect week that you could get for pick'ems. And it has happened once. And it happened with the same people on the same week. So I just find that funny. But yes, we are going to be doing pick'ems again if you are interested. Let us join the Sicko server and let us know so I can add you to the pool.
And dang it, just so you can talk to us and say wonderful things like "fuck you," I think you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is wrong. Incorrect, actually.
Mm-hmm. That is inconceivably wrong. But yes, the Pick'em's journey starts Monday. May the best man pick 'em all. Will the questions that I have, will we be picking more than 372 games?
I'm tired, boss.
Will
Do the meme again.
Don't worry, Spencer. I got enough pick'ems to last you your entire life. Hey, Luke, get your ass over here. Boy needs to pick more games. But hey, Spencer, you and me tied for, no, I got second over 1 point. So, you know, I think we had fun. I think it was a fun experiment to run.
Yeah,
I had
it's a fun
fun.
experiment. I think my thing was I just got overwhelmed. I got overstimmied.
Mm-hmm. Once we hit the NFL season.
Yeah, I was
But we are at our beautiful, tranquil walk. We are at a wonderful, peaceful walk on the beach.
Yeah, before the mosquitoes hatch and everything.
Mm-hmm. We think the
Before the
mosquitoes are hatching
before
for a
the
spell, and then we're back to our tranquil beach walk. And then
yeah,
we
before
walk
the
into...
mosquitoes and the fucking moths haunt us all.
I think you guys are gonna do great. Spencer, you went from worst to leading the pick'ems for most of the year, so
or or we get Untitled Spiders Project 2.
Untitled Spiders Project. But yes, we do have pick'ems. They will be starting on Monday. If you're interested, Discord server lays linked down below. We'll be starting it Monday. We're starting Monday. So
Anyway, I believe we have baseball to talk about. Ooh.
mm-hmm.
I never want to see Tyler Alexander on the pitcher's plate once.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, don't worry. He'll be getting ready to learn Mexican real soon.
He'll be pitching in AAA.
Yeah, let's
actually
hope.
probably yeah. That's true.
He'll be pitching in AAA. He from what I've looked at, he is your sixth pitcher from what it looks like.
Thank the Lord.
Which means you'll see him make 1 or 2 appearances on the air.
Because I saw him against the Mariners and I cringed very bad.
It was not good. It was
He died
funny.
of cringe in real time. Like he watched the game and he just saw him out there and his face literally got obliterated because of the cringe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You want to know how bad it was? His ERA was like 23.
Yeah, that wasn't good. I mean, you look at his stats too. He's an inning eater / like he's like a team's like 6th starting pitcher when they don't have none. Not bad of an option considering that. I mean, what do you? I mean, because like unless there's like an in-farm option coming out, which doesn't look like that there is an option coming up in a house yet. I mean, the one thing that we do have to note for the Brew Crew, they have a really good reliever that we looked at, and we found somebody that is speed running the minor leagues. My home dog Yoho. He was drafted, and then high A, double A, triple A, all in one stint, and it's just like his stat spread. He looked like he spent about like an even amount of time and has an ERA of under 2.
Yeah, he looks like he might be an actual like ace of the future.
Your big closer. So they traded Devin Williams, but you have another Devin Williams in your farm system.
Devin Williams, any percent, they call him.
Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at if we are 1 second.
He's looking, guys. He is searching.
Searching.
He's searching for the One Piece.
One Piece is real.
I wish I was still part of that server. Because one of my favorite memes from back then was playing the One Piece. Somebody would play the One Piece is real. I would immediately come in with the Price is Right theme.
That is a good theme. That is a good theme. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba. But yeah, that's something crazy to do, to find. Yeah.
To essentially find a free to essentially find another Devin Williams under our couch.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, to have that is just like claps all around. Mariners, you know where my descent to madness is. George Kirby, it might be on the 15-day injured list, and I'm going to put this gun closer to my head. I thought he wasn't gonna miss any time, but I mean,
yeah, you know why I put that segment in the Mariners video with, like, you know, The Office, like Michael from The Office, Street, you know, telling everyone, stay fucking calm. You know, that segment. Yeah, I think we're gonna need more of that, cause that's bad. That's not good, Seattle. That's like, god damn it, why Kirby? He's fun. He's a fun pitcher to watch. Why has it gotta be him?
he is an artesian pitcher. The dude pitches pissed off all the time. Like, he is really good just on the mound. He doesn't like throwing a ball.
Like, the man would. I'm pretty sure that man would rather drink his own piss than throw walks.
He does not want to throw walks. And in terms of pitchers that don't do walks, George Kirby is one of them.
By the way, regarding that Mariners video, props on the lithium instrumental.
Yeah, I was really glad that turned out as well as it did. I was like, you know, I should, you know, it'd be pretty based of me to put a Nirvana instrumental in here. It would be really, really based of me to do this. And you know what? It turned out great.
Although a side effect of that is that I may have missed some of Luke's yapping because I was too busy singing along to Lithium.
Man, I could have been yapping about something important. Damn it, Spencer.
Yeah, but the whole you could have been talking about the nuclear codes, and I still would have been like, I like it. I'm not gonna cry.
Come on, man. You're supposed to be like, God damn it, man. Oh, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how the Mariners video turned out. I really happy, got some good views. And I mean, I sent it to a couple of my Mariners friends. They said, yeah, this is kind of how we feel about the Mariners right now. It is it's not a positive thing that we feel about it. Just based going on how just how we felt about the offseason. And then we do have one piece of good news. Mariners finally have a customer to TV streaming service, but it's only for those who are in the region's RSN, which I thought I was really excited for, and then I was like, oh.
See, you said that, and my mind immediately went to that rock clip where he's just like, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we got the finally part done. So the thing to kind of note was yeah, they have a customer to TV streaming service. Really good deal all around. Wait, the Mariners traded I'm looking at my I'm looking at my fucking holy shit. I'm looking at my the road to the show, and the Mariners traded Cal Raleigh to the Diamondbacks.
Oh.
What?
I see. Yeah. Thankfully, in real life, Cal Raleigh is still a Seattle Mariner.
Dude, the amount of anger that would come out of my mouth if that were to happen. Like,
It would be nuclear rage. It would be it would be a nuclear bomb going off.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have so many instances of that Benson throwing trash around gif.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would be mad.
Yeah, it would be like, you screaming at Stanton and Dipoto. It would be that one scene where Benson just loses his rage, just unleashes a complete and utter fireball
Mm-hmm.
at Rigby and Mordecai, which is completely filled with all his rage over his entire life.
Yeah, he literally goes Super Saiyan in that episode.
I go like Super D Duper Saiyan. I would go Super Saiyan on the Mariners here. I would be so mad. I would want blood for what I had to endure, because I would be like, what the fuck is this going on? Like the amount of utter Yinzer rage that would come out would ensue would be it'd be unforgivable. It'd be the most unforgivable thing to happen to the Mariners if you traded Cal Raleigh. But I feel like what's going to happen, I feel like Cal Raleigh leaves the team in free agency.
Yeah,
that's what I think is going to happen. But the way how I see it right now, there's just no excuses. There's no more excuses. There should be no more excuses now. You can't cry poor. You have a direct to customer streaming service, especially for when we're cutting cable cord trend is coming. And unless you apparently don't get like on 1 million subscribers, like you get like 1,000 people subscribing to it all, then I mean, at the end of the day, it's just ugh.
It seems like the Seattle Mariners are still under wheel of bullshit, like they have been for the better part of the last like over 20 years now. For the latter part of like the last 20 years, the Mariners have been under wheel of bullshit, and it's a wheel that never refuses to stop.
It's been the boat that has been just staying in neutral. And like in the image that I'm saying, it's two people that are going one way and one's going the other way. But yet, like, the thing that I really loved about spring training was I got to see the young bats, right? Like, there is bats on the way, right? I was also high on Rowdy Tellez. Everybody's now really gotten really quiet for some reason. He had a really bad week after starting really white hot. Mitch Haniger looks like he's gonna have a stint on the IL, which doesn't surprise me at all. Haniger is on the injured list for the Seattle Mariners, so that isn't something to kind of note. As well as George Kirby, I think he might be missing a start. He's starting rehab, but he might be on the 15-day IL list. But that's fine because the Mariners have Emerson Hancock, who will get an opportunity to really cement himself into this rotation, and the Mariners could be going to a 6-man rotation, which that would be super deadly. Super deadly.
And honestly, I think the idea of a 6-man rotation has definitely become a lot more popular in recent years with how many injuries there have been to pitchers. So, yeah, I think regardless of how well Kirby comes back, that is something that the Mariners will have to keep in mind.
Mm-hmm. Like Emerson Hancock is a major league pitcher. Like he did struggle, yes, but like what pitcher doesn't struggle? He couldn't find a spot because the Mariners rotation was just so good.
Obviously.
Like the Mariners starting rotation was the best in MLB, and if you just have somebody who's maybe slightly below average that's in the 6-man, that's okay. But in terms of the Mariners, it's gonna be really interesting what they do for the hitting. I haven't seen Cole Young be sent down to AAA yet, although we are gonna have a really good idea of who's going to be on this team. Prospect-wise, him and Harry Ford are both still on the roster. There are 3 games left. The White Sox, and they have the Brewers, and then the Padres to wrap up spring training. And it's going to be interesting to see who makes the roster. We have an idea, like the outfield. We have an idea about the outfield, but the infield, I'm not confident in this infield at all. I think this is one of the worst infields in baseball. This outfield, the outfield's great. I'm fine. The outfield's great. But, like, the infield, like, I don't want to see, like, J.P. Crawford and Dylan Moore kind of flounder around. I'd rather say, fuck it, let's play Bliss and Cole Young the entire way through. I'd rather see that than guys that might be DFA'd at some point, but it seems like the theme of this spring training is, I'm not so confident on this bullpen here. And the bullpen, like, look, the hitting may have been really bad last year, but look in August at how bad, after the All-Star break, at how bad the bullpen was. That was an atrocity on its own.
Yeah, it was for sure.
Like, I mean, here's the thing. Munoz could lock it down, but that's Munoz. I always expect Munoz to lock it down, but when Munoz was hurt, yeah, you could see they had no idea. Sure, they brought in guys, but they were bad and got hurt. So we're seeing guys slowly work their way back from Tommy John. Matt Brash should be back sometime in May. Same with Jackson Kowar. Same with DeSantos might be missing a first few games, but he should be back in full strength. But the rest of the guys like Thornton, Saucedo, Cinder, Thornton, it does not look good. And again, their offseason transactions were getting waiver claims, which is, AAA fodder. But it's not going to move the needle when you have 6 amazing starting pitchers that can go 7 innings deep. When you have hitting that, puts up 3 runs, but then the bullpen collapses, which is going to be a reoccurring theme this year. So
maybe I'm like I got ruined by one of the worst possible spring training pitchers, but Saucedo didn't look too bad.
Saucedo's fine. Saucedo to me there's always the potential wording that Saucedo has, and it's just the same thing. It's potential. He's got great hot streaks, but then he's got like really bad ice cold streaks. And I like the Washington. I like he's a Huskies fan. I mean, I like the guy with the how he interacts with the fan base. I like all of that. But
Oh, if we were going off of feels alone, I'd want Dalton Varsho as a Milwaukee Brewer.
mhm. Right, like there's lots of feels, but like I feel like Saucedo is probably not going to be on this team for the full season. Because I mean, especially when you have Kawar, you have Brash, and I think they're going to be looking in the trade department to improve the team going forward. Like he might not spend the entire year with the Seattle Mariners, but it's going to be early on this year. It's going to be a lot of their bullpen's going to be really put into high leverage situations unless the team's hitting is really good to start the year.
Oh. I was wondering why it wasn't going to the next one. I guess in this stage of Mario Picross, you have to check for yourself that it's all ready before it sends you to the next 15 by 15,
Mm.
which, gross. Brother, ugh.
Ew. Brother, ew.
But yeah, also the spring train breakout game. I want to see more than just one game. Can I be selfish? I want to see like a whole week of that, or like
Yeah, we
maybe
could use that.
we start spring training with like a couple like breakout games with the young players, because like oh my god, Jamingo Chargente, that dude's a stud.
Yeah, can you imagine if there was like a league of people who are like on the verge of breaking out? Like that would be like really awesome. And crap, I just reinvented minor leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations, you reinvented the wheel.
You did. But like, oh, and then like Ty Pete, dude, Ty Pete's gonna be he needs to be at some point. If you see him on top, the top 100 prospects list, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for the days on the top 100. Because I think he is a stud, and he's only 19. And he could be in start out in double A this year, but he's probably gonna start out in Everett. But like, oh my god, had such an entertaining spring training. Like, oh, I'm really happy. I was really worried that a guy like Ty Pete was gonna be traded at the deadline, but I'm really happy that the Mariners hung on and got him. That dude is gonna be a stud. He went 4 for 4 in the spring breakout game with an absolutely nuke of a home run. Oh, it was so beautiful.
And anyway, Nick, I believe you have
Yeah, you got the
a
cups,
team
Nick.
that you root for.
Yeah. Yeah, and we
I
yes, the
pass.
team that has already played 2 games in the season and lost both. Granted it was games in Japan against the Dodgers, which needs to be said. I know that technically it says that they were Cubs home games. They were Dodgers home games. Let's not beat around the bush about that. They were Dodgers home games. That country loves Shohei Ohtani. Like I think that's one of the most obvious things you'll ever hear, but those games really showed you just how much they love Shohei Ohtani. But
Mhm.
I mean, I was more for like those Japan games, less for the result and just more to see the experience and all of that. And it was pretty fun. Like I'll admit, the experience was pretty nice. Like, the fact that, I mean, the games, I mean, it was clear that, the Japan crowd really respected both teams, even though I'm sure there was a lot more Dodgers fans than Cubs fans because Shohei. But, it was a really fun experience. I mean, the only thing I'll complain about is that weird technology that the Tokyo Dome had that looked like a mix of video game and CGI. It did not look good, and at first I thought it was another Fox Sports masterclass, but it turned out it was just the Tokyo Dome. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah. So, but outside of that, yeah. I mean, look, I woke up at like 2:30 to watch one of these games. So you know what? My my time needed to be worth it for this, and you know what? It was. So I can at least take solace in that, even though we lost both games, the games themselves were fun and good for baseball, because from what I saw, these games drew massive numbers, which I always love to see that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So on that point, I feel like the MLB needs to host more games in Japan. That is a must.
I think I'd
Now
send
for
every team to see like what's like Japan's interest, because one of the things that we did see, and of course, as me, as a VTuber fan and of this and a fan of the VTuber company that partnered with the Dodgers, I really like that because it really shows how much of a worldwide sport that baseball is, and what
Mhm.
really is like an importance. Like it really shows to other MLB teams. Hey, do you want to have make more money and partner with other companies? You should be signing Japanese superstars, and they shouldn't all go to one fucking team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the
You're.
on the topic of companies, apparently the Mariners are doing something with Nintendo.
Oh well, they've always had like a partnership with with Nintendo, and it's kind of how you know how we see like patches on helmets and
Yeah.
on jerseys in hockey. It is like that. Also, for those living under a rock, the Mariners, sorry, the Mariners. What the fuck? The Nintendo Switch 2 is set to release at some point this year. So this
Okay,
partnership,
but
I love
when are
this
the Mariners
partnership.
set to release?
So,
That's a good
yeah.
question, answer. But anyways, going back to the Cubs.
Back to the
As
Cubs.
for how spring training's been going, a lot of the young guys who I've been hoping to do well have all done really well. So that's very promising to see. Love seeing the young guys do well. Matt Shaw, who was our first round pick in 2023, he is basically all but confirmed to be making the roster because he was in the Japan games and, he looked good. He looked good in both games. So, really excited to see what Matt Shaw can do. PCA's coming off a great second half, and I think he's looked great in spring training along with Miguel Amaya, who also came off a strong second half. So, the young guys that we hope to do well, have done very well in spring training. And for pitching, I don't have much to really say about pitching outside the fact that Cade Horton, he is our top pitching prospect, has returned to pitching and all that. He's made appearances in, I want to say, I know he pitched today, so I think it's at least been 2 spring training games he's made appearances. And he's not throwing much because, he's coming off an injury where um, he was out for a good portion of the season last year, which if it wasn't for that, there would be a real chance that he would be making the starting rotation this season. But he's looked good in spring training so far. So as long as he slowly gets back, to doing what he was doing before the injury and plays very well, there's a real chance we could be seeing Cade Horton in Chicago this season. And that's the good stuff. That's really good. Um, the other thing to talk about with the Cubs that's not as good. I mean, we are 0-2 because, yes, those Japan games do count, even though we go right back to spring training right after. But, yeah, I'm expecting that the first month of the season for the Cubs is going to be an absolute gauntlet because you want to know what the Cubs schedule in like March and April is? You want to know what the schedule is?
Enlighten me.
First 4 games of the season at Arizona. Then the next 3 games, granted not as bad, but we're playing the Athletics, which I say the Athletics because it's literally what it says on ESPN. There's no Sacramento or Oakland. It's literally the Athletics.
Ah, yes, the Sacramento Athletics of Oakland of Anaheim.
Yeah. Then afterwards, we play San Diego, which way understandable. I think that's a lot easier, mainly because the Padres are coming off an awful off season. The Rangers, who have a lot of guys back that they didn't have last season. Then we play 3 games on the road against the Dodgers. Then a 3 game stretch at San Diego, and the Diamondbacks again, and the Dodgers again, and the Phillies, then the Pirates for 3 games, and then the Brewers for 3 games. So, yeah, so from basically the beginning of the season to early May, it is an absolute gauntlet of a schedule for the Cubs, and it's
That's
gonna be really interesting to see how we handle it because, like, my expectations are lower definitely because that is an absolute gauntlet of a schedule to start off the season with. And it's just like I'm hoping that we are at least around 500 before we come across the um, the haunting months for Chicago Cubs baseball that are May and June, which are 2 months that have been haunting the Cubs, going all the way back to when Joe Madden was still our manager. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Speaking of managers, has Craig Counsell, based off of what you've seen for spring training, has Craig Counsell fixed that problem he always has, where the bullpen is like really deep, but like the hitting is always like super shitty?
yeah, I'm gonna have to wait and see how that goes. Because spring training, it's gone well so far, but spring training is also, spring training. But I'm interested in seeing what he does with the pitchers and the bullpen here because we did sign some guys. Like I know we signed Matthew Boyd from the Guardians, and we're gonna have Javier Assad coming back at some point. We have guys like Ben Brown and Jordan Wicks on the roster. Like I would not be surprised, and honestly, I'd be pretty cool with it if he did a strategy that I'm pretty sure the 2018 Brewers did, where they got like so many pitchers and just, like one guy would come in, then the other guy would throw a couple of innings after, something along the lines of that. I would not be surprised if once we have all these guys, he might do something similar to that because, I think that would honestly that'd be something worth trying, um, especially considering that pitchers are getting injured more often than ever, and this would be something worth trying. And I know I said for the Mariners, I brought up the six. I know Luke brought up the 6-man rotation. I also wouldn't be surprised if the Cubs do something like that with a 6-man rotation, especially once Assad comes back. So that's something worth keeping an eye on. As for the hitting, I want the hitting to do well. I hope it just doesn't have that stretch like in May and June last year where it just completely shuts off. And granted, they are going to be very well tested for the first month of the season because, well, look at that schedule. Just
mm-hmm.
look at it. But I'm hopeful that with all the young guys we have, like PCA, like Amaya, who had strong second halves last year. Hopefully they continue that this year. And you got guys like Shaw coming in. Maybe you have more young guys coming in. Who knows? I'm hopeful you know, that leads to good results. And I've seen, Cubs, like insiders, they've talked about this, and I agree with them. A big wild card for the Cubs hitting this year is Dansby Swanson, because last year he had a pretty bad season, and it became pretty clear that for most of the season he was not playing close to 100%. So this year he's 100%, and so far in spring training and those 2 games against the Dodgers, he looked way better. So I'm hopeful that, as long as the Cubs can, guide themselves carefully through the first month of this gauntlet, then I'm hopeful that the Cubs can face their demons in May and June and hopefully handle them a lot better than they have in recent years. Because if they can do that, I will feel a lot more hopeful.
Yeah. You mentioned you mentioned a strategy that Craig did with the 2018 Brewers. It it's one of those things where it works brilliantly until it doesn't. Um, like like it was cool like when he first introduced it, but by the end it was just like he was getting way too cute with with that bullpen shenanigans, and
Hmm.
then the bats just went ice cold, and
Yeah,
in a phenomenon I like to call full full Craig.
yeah, yeah. It's just I'm hopeful. Obviously, it's like it's really gonna be interesting to see if that happens or not because I mean, once again, it's like you're really like right off the start, you are going full throttle against these, teams that have either been talented, reloaded in the off season, or just, are very tough to play against in the first month of the season. Because even the Pittsburgh Pirates, which are without question the easiest team we have to play in the first month of the season, they can be tough at the start of the year. The Pirates have shown that they can be a pain in the ass to teams trying to start off the year well, and usually the Pirates actually don't do that bad for the first couple of months. It's the last couple of months where they completely and utterly implode, and we all laugh at them for it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry,
But
Pirates.
it's
You
gonna
only
be
have 4 more years left to enjoy Polskines.
Pause.
No,
But,
five. Sorry, you got
honestly,
5.
to
You got
sum it up,
5 years left
yeah,
to enjoy
but
Polskines
yeah, to
before he
sum it up,
fucks
to
off.
sum up where we're at right now, my expectations are in the middle right now, where it's like I want them to do well, but I'm also expecting tough waters because, once again, schedule. Look at it.
Yeah, I mean, Mariners have we have better. We have the Athletics, which I really hope we just beat into submission like always, and then Tigers are going to be tough. One of those games is going to be against Tank Skubal. So
Tariq Skubal.
fine, we get to get pitchered for at least one of the upcoming games, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, baseball season's almost here, and you know what?
Yeah, by the way, one more thing.
Oh,
Sorry,
sorry.
sorry to interrupt. One more thing. I just noticed looking at the Cubs Brewers series for early May. I just noticed that one of the games is set to be listed on Telemundo.
Huh?
Olay.
Okay. You know what?
I just love that it's there. That's
Good
just
old
funny.
division rivalry. Good old division rivalry all over.
Yeah, and Espanol even.
Ooh.
Can't wait. Can't wait for this year for baseball season. Man, NHL playoffs are gonna be coming soon. The Maple Leafs had a heart attack, and then we've had an unheart attack.
Yeah, and they also got funny help from officials.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, the rest want to see them make it past the first round.
Well,
But-
hang on. You're not at the playoffs yet. Let's not
Let's
count our eggs before they hatch. Huh?
Okay, of course. How could I forget? Anyways, please keep beating up the Kraken. I want us to at least pick in the top 4. Minimum. I want us to be in the top 4 so we can get the best defensive prospect in the draft. Please. And thank you.
I was gonna say, is there a player that you have in mind?
2025 prospect rankings. I am hoping for Matthew Schaefer, but he's currently the number 1 prospect for North American skaters.
Matt Schaefer.
He is with the Erie Otters. The second best one would be Radam Merkrita, and he is with the Seattle Thunderbirds of the WHL. Internationally, the number 1 defensive prospect is Matt Paninskia. Oh, Portland Winterhawks! Really? Okay, what's the best player that's in Europe playing in European League? It would be Last Bornelius of the Asot Junior in the Finland Junior League. So, but mostly it is the Canadian Hockey League once again representing. Boom. I mean, even then, Logan Hensler could be somebody that we keep an eye on. He was for Wisconsin for the Big Ten, so.
I mean, technically, the Erie Seawolves play in the United States.
Yeah, they do. But I'm saying it's with the Canadian Hockey League because I'm a Canadian and I like it when more Canadian hockey players get drafted over the NCAA. Because ha, suck it.
Right, I'm just saying.
By the way, sorry to. Actually, go ahead.
I'm just saying, does that make like Michigan, Pennsylvania, and stuff? Does that make us technically Canadian, baby? Woo!
Well, we technically
Here we come.
we Yeah, Canada beat USA in 4 nations in the Champions Final. That means I got to pick 3 states, and it's Washington, Oregon, and Michigan.
All right, baby. So long having to pay for healthcare.
Yep. Anyways,
Exactly.
before we go, I just want to quickly say, rest in peace, George Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to
The
say
man
that. Rest in
behind the
peace.
grill.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And next week, ladies and gentlemen, we have the UFL. But in terms of streams that are planned for this weekend, we have Taegan Rompa, Nick Taegan, Magnum, Bren, and Amen?
Freeman.
Freeman?
Yep.
Not Cayman? Cayman won't be there?
It's Freeman that's usually there.
Freeman?
Freeman is
Okay.
usually.
So they'll be doing Taegan Rompa 3?
Yep, B3.
They're doing V3. They'll be doing that Saturday and Sunday, right?
Yep, Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and
God
Sunday.
help me.
Monday will be Pokemon Radical Red. We're going to continue run 3 on Monday. Tuesday will be Madden. Wednesday will be back to Radical Red, and then Thursday will either be Pokemon Reborn or Radical Red. It'll be one of those things is going to be happening. And then Friday will be the first watch along of the spring football season with the Arlington Renegades versus the Houston Roughnecks. So that's going to be exciting. We turn to our roots, man.
Yeah, and who knows? For some of those Pokemon streams, I might be there too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I might be they're giving Luke brain rot ideas like Attack of the Killer Knife.
That's on the silly string where the blood effects are done by Bugs Bunny squirting a ketchup bottle onto the videos coming up. We got 3 videos. We got the UFL Week 0, which should be out Sunday. I just need a thumbnail. So
I will be making that probably Saturday.
Okay, and then Mariners, Puget Sound off. We're doing season previews. We're gonna look at the 26-man roster. That is for Wednesday, and I know K-Man is doing an Untitled Packers project that should be out soon. I don't know what Jugger's gonna do about the Yankees, but he might be doing a video on the Yankees. I'm not so sure yet. I will have to check with him. But some stuff, we got lots of content coming for you guys for the Untitled Sickos project. Yeah, so I'm excited about this. We are almost approaching 1 year where we've kind of officially launched this channel. I consider Untitled Colorado Buffaloes project was kind of like the first like big thing. So are we at the 1 year anniversary for that yet or no?
I mean for Vasectomy Madness, it's still showing 11 months, but
So yeah, it is.
Yeah, oldest is still 11 months.
Oldest is still 11 months. So we have it's Untitled Rogers. Untitled. I kind of consider Untitled Buffalo was kind of like the first.
Yeah, because the first video came out on April 1st.
Mm-hmm. So we're almost at kind of like the 1 year of us. So it probably may consider like the 1 year launch.
This is actually just one big April Fool's project. Fuck you all.
Yeah, we're gonna go stream somewhere else now.
Like Unis Honest.
Unis Honest. Unis Honest. Unis Honest. Unis Honest. So yeah, that is something that's going to be coming out soon. Stay tuned for that. I'm excited. We've got lots of stuff planned for you for the we got April kind of sorted out for streaming, and then May and June it's going to get stupid because we normally
brain rot roots.
Like we normally don't stream in May or June. It's because my dumbass is working like a slave at Pizza Land, but not anymore.
Now he's working like a slave at a prison.
No, I'm not. I'm not working at all because I haven't been called in at all. So.
But hey, the money comes in anyway. Am I right?
No, it does not. It's EI.
Oh, sorry, you're hourly. My bad. I thought you were salary.
It's hourly. It is. it is hourly. But if I do get called in, then yeah. But hopefully the sooner I can get term, the better everything will be. Sunshines and rainbows. There'll be inmates singing. No, there won't be. They'll be shanking each other because that's all they do.
Well, I mean, who says they can't be singing while they're shanking?
That is true. Anyways,
Think outside of the box
sounds like something
sometimes.
you'd see in an old. Sounds like something you'd see in an old Disney movie.
I feel like you'd see that more important, like in a Key and Peele sketch. So, anyways, that's gonna do it for us today. We will see you. It's time to get my unk ass to bed in case I am summoned.
Yep.
But
yeah, thank you for watching, and be sure to get that vasectomy. Otherwise, you're gonna be overwhelmed with children.
exactly, and even then, too, on top of that, I don't know. We'll see.